What do you make of the notion that men are the leaders of our community? What does that look like in light of what Dr. Umar said? And sometimes, as a leader, doesn't a leader have to take responsibility for his community? This is Caesar Walker, the cool, calm, collected one.
And I'm Ronnie Gatry, the emotional one.
And we are the Tipping Point Podcast, your source for the black male's perspective.
Tipping Point Podcast.
I'm triggered by that.
About what?
About what? Specifically the latter part of his comment. Not that I'm against what you said, but I think that's part of where we are right now. The women have been positioned to allow men to lead.
I've heard you talk about this as a pet peeve.
Who has the power in that?
So you're leading because she allowed you to, and you don't like that at all. Say more.
Well, answer the question. Who has the power at that point?
What she's basically saying is that I have the power. I'm just yielding it to you. If I'm allowing you to lead, then okay, here, let me get out of the driver's seat and get over onto the passenger seat, and you come over and get in the driver's seat. Then that's what you're hearing.
Right.
Okay.
So, to me, that's the start of the problem. Again, I'm not against what you said, but I think that's real right now. And so, like we love to do on this podcast, let's look at the other side. Mm-hmm. If that is the given variable, then what power do men have? Do we have to sit prone and wait for our women to allow us to lead? Because, pun intended, but I really feel like anything else would be uncivilized, using society's terms.
So a man who, and we're going to get back on Umar's comments because I do have some more questions about that. But do you think that the version of masculinity in which a man leads without a woman's permission is considered toxic?
Yes. The essence of it is not. Society spin on it, it is.
Yes. Yeah. Gotcha. So Umar said at the end of that clip, because the brothers was asking about, and Black, you've already kind of alluded, you already kind of spoke on it a little bit, but the brothers asked Dr. Umar, should we be responsible for her poor choices? Umar says, no, we should be responsible for the fact that she has a poor selection.
Okay.
And he's referring to what has happened throughout history with men leaving the house or being, not in the house, children being raised up by their mother, and the fact that has given rise to the I don't even like this term, but it's the Pookies and Ray Rays or the street dudes or dudes who are considered not fit or whatnot. It's given rise to those types of men, right? And with the men being out of the house, that is why she is choosing those men. Go ahead, Black.
On,
Go.
Black.
Well, we hear you. We hear you.
In the man acting like
we
his
hear you in the
mic is
back,
off.
right? Your mic works.
It's just that I hear that I'm going like, how we got to this point where like, how have women not figured out like how not to sleep with a man, or at the very least, not get pregnant by a man who they're not married to? Like, whose fault is that?
In that conversation, did you hear the whole most of the conversation?
I don't know.
Where
are you going with this?
I'm not setting you up. But what I'm saying is, in that conversation, he even said that who's having sex with her? Who's having sex with her? You're having sex with her. Why are you looking at me? I'm the messenger. You can't shoot Umar, so you'll shoot me with your looks. He's saying,
Close range.
but he's saying who's sleeping with her. Again, it's the man having to take responsibility for the fact that she's pregnant and she's having a child.
But this sounds like I hate like a chicken and the egg thing. Like, she can't get pregnant if she doesn't allow him to sleep with her.
Okay.
That she has to let him in.
Okay.
If she keeps her legs closed, she don't get pregnant.
So
At the very least, you can. There's contraception. There's options for you not to get pregnant by a guy.
okay. So why am I bringing this up? Do y'all what you mentioned, Black, that Umar is pandering to women.
That's what it sounds like to
That's
me.
what it sounds like. That's not the first time I've heard that.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's not the first time I've heard that. Again, I've been playing Angel's Advocate up to this point. What do you make of this conversation amongst Black men? Because this is a conversation amongst Black men. There were no women involved in this
Right.
conversation.
while there are historically there are a lot of things that have happened that we can't really change. I think there's a population of brothers out here who don't have impactful or effective models of that. That could be residue from that. I honestly do not know. But as men, kind of agree with Umar says. Like, we do have a responsibility to what's going to make us great,
Okay.
or to what's going to make us better, to what's going to take us out of the Pookie and Ray Ray. Are there communities that glorify that? There could be. You know what I mean? So like this is
In
really
in our
nuanced, Walker.
in our culture, it's glorified, unfortunately, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm taking it through the lens of that young man developing in this environment.
Okay.
This is all that he sees. How can we expect him to do better?
Okay. So when you say you agree, what do you agree with specifically?
I agree with still. I mean, you're still a man.
Okay.
If you're gonna lay down, you're gonna lay down and get down, and something emerges from that.
Okay.
You're still a man with a responsibility, regardless of the model that you've set for yourself.
Sure.